Okay, I'm doing my testing, minding my own business, and suddenly I find a bug. Or at least it looks like a bug, but something I'm looking at is really, really wrong. So what do? I log a bug. Of course I log a bug. But before that, as soon as you see a bug, get a screenshot, retrace all of your steps, remember what you were doing, what user you were using, what URL you were using, which environment you were on, what browser, everything. You get a screen movie clip if it makes sense, for the situation. Now, try to reproduce the issue. This is extremely important. Try to reproduce the issue. If you're not able to reproduce the issue, no harm done. You still have the steps. You still have a screenshot. You still have a movie clip. You still have like all the information that you gather. So you can use that information to log the bug. So go ahead and log the bug. If that issue is reproducible, awesome. Now, if it's a UI bug, go after every browser that your application is supporting. All the desktop browsers, all the mobile browsers, and try to reproduce it on all of them and find out, narrow down, on which devices, which browsers this issue happens. Now, if it's not a UI issue, if it's something related to the logic or something like that, try to use a different user. Try to use a different product. Try to use a different user type. Try to use a different product type. Try to use several combinations. Now try to reproduce this on all the environments that you're supporting, like dev, QA, UAT, prod, perf, staging, demo, whatever you use. Try to reproduce it in all of them. Narrow down on which builds this issue is happening. Now, just for a safety measure, rule out human error. Go check in the database if somebody messed with your test data. Go check in the admin tool, configuration tool, wherever you set up your data, if somebody messed with your data. Rule out human error. And just for a safety measure, look at the requirements, make sure nothing changed. This is kind of hard to do because requirements are ever changing and they're not kept track of in a streamlined way like we would ideally want it to. But try to check the requirements, do your best. Try to also look at the mockups. Again, if it's a UI issue, try to look at the mockups. Make sure, rule out you've not forgotten it, because that is very, very common thing that would happen. You would forget things. Now, after ruling out all these possibilities and the issue is consistently happening with a certain kind of account or in general or anything, now you have a legitimate bug. Now it's time to go ahead and log the bug. But can you go ahead and log the bug already? Not yet. Wait for it. Now go through your backlog. Look at your backlog. Try to find similar issues. If you are able to find a similar issue, look at it. If this issue was resolved months ago, it was already released, then log a new bug. Link both these tickets, so that the developer knows that this was an issue in the past and it was resolved, but it came back somehow, so that they can manage how they're checking in the code, or who messed up their previously fixed code or something like that. They will be able to resolve that. Now, if you find a bug from the past that was not resolved, but it was closed as not reproducible, but you reproduced it now, so again, log in your ticket, link both of these bugs, explain that it happened at one time, it was not reproducible, it was magically fixed, and now it's back again. Third scenario. So you have a bug that was closed as won't fix. They have decided that they won't fix. Look at the justification for why they won't fix. If that justification makes sense to you, leave it be. If that justification does not make sense to you, go ahead and log a new bug. Sometimes teams have amnesia. They will forget why they wanted to fix some bugs, why they did not want to fix some bugs. Something that was not trivial 2 months ago is trivial right now. So they may want to fix this bug now. So go ahead and log a new bug. Don't link it or anything, just stay calm. Now, if you have an already logged bug in the current, like it's open. Nobody's working on it. It's been logged. So now you have two options. Look at it. If it has ample data, that's awesome. Leave it as is. Put in a comment saying like, hey, I found this issue with this product number and with this user, and mention any details you may seem fit if it has ample data. If it does not have ample data, create a new section and log in all the information and put in all the information about the user, the description, the product codes, the build numbers, everything. Make a separate section and put all this information and ping the owner of the Jira or the ticket, whatever tool you're using, to explain to them that you also saw this issue and you added some information to it. Having said that, if this team member who logged the bug that is passive aggressive or some kind of a douche, don't even bother. This is a little political, but trust me. Go ahead and log a new ticket and link them both and just stay quiet. Now that you logged the ticket, now it's okay to talk to another team member, ask them what has happened, like why did this happen? These are the steps to reproduce and everything. If you want to open a conversation, absolutely, now it's the time to open a conversation. I'll tell you why you should not open a conversation prior to logging this bug. Mainly because somebody will say, I'm looking into it, I'll take care of it, don't worry about it. They will not get to it. It will be forgotten. And since you already looked at it and you have decided, if somebody told you like, oh, I'm going to take care of it, so you're going to forget about it too. And secondly, some team member, you will always have team members like this on a team. They will be like, why are you looking at those things? That's not even part of the sprint, or that's a feature that's been released like months ago. So even if you log it back, I'm not going to fix it. So whatever. Yeah, there are team members who say that. And then there are team members who will report you for, looking at bugs, for finding bugs that are outside of the sprint. That happens too. So you want to avoid all those things. At the same time, you want to log a ticket for something you saw that was wrong that could potentially break something in the current sprint. Regardless, product needs to be better. Maybe not perfect, but it needs to be better. So now you might be thinking, oh, that's what QA people do when they find a bug. Well, that's what anybody on the team should be doing when they find a bug. They're supposed to be researching and not try to log a duplicate. If you believe this is excessive, all I can say is you're basic. We used to do these steps 10 years ago in IT, and now the quality of IT has significantly gone down. So, if you like the tips that I just mentioned, please give a thumbs up. If you're already following these tips, and if you have more tips, please do add a comment. I would like to learn more and add more to my process. Thank you very much.